guys, it's Leanne. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is just an updated makeup routine, what I would use for my everyday makeup look basically. So I have included some new products that I'm now obsessed with, some new techniques as well, which I'll talk you through which techniques are new. Obviously, some of the stuff I'm doing is just like what I've always done. So like the way I apply foundation, that hasn't really changed. But lately, there's definitely a few new makeup techniques that I've included in this video, which should hopefully just take your makeup game to the next level. So I've talked through that in the video. I've talked through the new products and why I like these new products that I've discovered. So yeah, if you'd like to see how to achieve this flawless, full coverage, everyday makeup look, then obviously stick around, keep on watching. And as always, please like the video, please subscribe if you're not already, and leave me a comment in the comment section on your thoughts on this tutorial and whether you have any makeup tips to share from makeup routine, because I'm always we can all learn from each other sort of thing. But yeah, I'll stop talking now and just enjoy. So one thing that actually hasn't changed about my makeup routine is that I always do start out with a moisturiser. So I'm not fussed on any particular moisturiser, but today I'm using the Simple Hydrating Light Moisturiser. So yeah, that's the one I'm using today. And I'm just literally going to work that into the skin and into the neck. So I'm just going to let that sink into the skin now for like 3 or 4 minutes before I apply primer and then foundation. But whilst waiting, I might as well share just like a little makeup artist tip. So basically I would moisturise any skin type. So I think it's like a common myth that like people with oily skin shouldn't actually use a moisturiser because they're already like kind of moisturised and oily enough. But putting a moisturiser on just kind of adds a barrier between your skin and then the products you're going to put on top. It just gives you the best base. Like good makeup sometimes does start with good skincare. So yeah, I'd always moisturise before going in with any other products on top. Because like when you're working the products into the skin, like this is just getting the circulation going. And yeah, it's just something that I always do on all clients. So the next product I'm going in with is a favourite of mine now. So this is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So I'm just going to be literally applying this with my fingertips. So I've just taken a blob this size and I'm just going to be working that into the forehead, the cheeks, the chin, and just on the nose and the top lip area. And I'm literally just blending this into the skin and making sure that it's pressed in nicely, as you can see. Especially around the nose area, as that's where I always find the foundation sort of pools and cakes and pores show up there for me. Now, anyone who's been watching this channel for a while will know that this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is literally a favourite of mine, so that's nothing new. I literally use this on every client as well. Very rarely do I ever change up from this primer because it is just so good and such good value. But don't worry, there are some new products and new techniques coming, but I will be talking you through them as I go along. So for foundation today, I'm going to be going in with the Primark PS My Perfect Colour Double Coverage Matte Foundation. Now I'm in the shade Toffee number 10. So this foundation is literally £5. It's been featured on this channel quite a few times, but I just love it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And this is my current obsession at the moment. This is what I'm using for nights out, daytime makeup. It's so inexpensive, but it's so good and it really is full coverage. So I'm just going to apply that now to the skin and let you see what you think. So I'm just going in with a flat synthetic foundation brush. I think this one is from Eco Tools, but you could literally dot this on the skin with fingertips. So to blend this in now, I'm going to be going in with the Morphe M6 brush and I'm just patting this foundation into place. So I don't like to swipe or rub, like sometimes I see other people swiping or rubbing, but I just feel like that disrupts any texture. If you have texture on the skin, so any like dryness on the skin, it'll just disrupt it and it won't give you an actual smooth base, I find. So I just prefer to press the foundation into the skin, as you can see me doing now. Making sure that I blend right to the hairline. And if you've noticed, I just don't do the under eye, and that is because I find that putting foundation under there as well as concealer will just literally make it crease because the skin on the under eye is just so delicate and more thin than the rest of the face, that I find the more products you add there, the more chance you have of actually making that area crease, which we do not want the under eye to crease for obvious reasons. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't actually believe in putting foundation right up to the under eyes. That's why. Also as well, the technique I'm doing now, which is just patting the foundation into the skin, is very, very good for giving it a full coverage. So if you use a brush rather than a beauty sponge, that will literally give you the most full coverage, as a brush seems to soak up less product than a beauty sponge. However, I do still believe in using a beauty sponge. So this is the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams beauty sponge, and I'm just doing this to airbrush the foundation. So by doing this, it will take up any excess foundation, as I've just explained, and it will also remove any brush hair strokes. So sometimes when you apply foundation with a brush, you do inevitably get some brush hair strokes if you've been pressing a bit too hard. So that's what this will do. It will just airbrush the skin. And the fact that it removes excess product will help the foundation to look less cakey. So I'm quite happy with this base now. Say this base looks quite smooth, quite flawless. So I'm going to go in now with concealer. And for concealer today, I'm going to be going in with the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. And this is in the shade 331 Latte. So this is a very yellow based concealer. So I'm just going to apply this to the under eyes here. Give the eye a little bit of a lift. So a technique that I now use for blending out concealer is to go in with the Kay's makeup. I think this is the concealer brush. It's literally like my favourite tool for blending away concealer. Blends away seamlessly. And this Kay's makeup brush is from a collection she done with Home and Bargain. It's so inexpensive, and it's definitely worth purchasing the packet of brushes just for this one brush. This is like the only brush I use from that collection, but I really do love it. See, it's just like blending the concealer away like a dream, and I'm like hardly pressing this, by the way. I'm not really pressing very hard. So this is kind of something new for me, as I used to use a beauty blender to blend away the under eye. However, a brush is better for the same reasons I've just explained. It will literally give you a more full coverage finish than a beauty sponge, as it's not soaking up as much of the concealer. And obviously on the under eye you do want, well I do want anyway because I've got bags, I do want a fuller coverage under there. Okay, next step, which is new for me, as I used to set the under eye first and then go in with other products. But the next step for me is going in with the Made by Mitchell blush in the shade Sweet Cheeks. I almost forgot then. This is very, very pigmented, so I've probably put on a little bit too much actually. I'm just applying this to the apples of the cheeks and kind of back to the hairline. And then I'm just going to go in with a Real Techniques buffing brush and just blend this up, which will give the cheeks a nice lift. Rather than blending the blush down, we want the cheeks to feel lifted, as you can see me doing now. And to be honest, the reason why I actually am using the blush now before the setting powder on the under eye is because I've found that when I actually set the under eye first and then try to apply a cream blush, they just don't mesh well at all. You can just tell there's like a visible white line where the concealer is and then a pink. So that's obviously not what we want. So that's why I'm doing this. And then I'm going to go back in with that concealer brush. And because nothing's being set with any powder products, it's literally fine to just kind of, you know, dab over both of them. If nothing's being set yet, everything can still be like moved around sort of thing. And that is the reason why I don't set the under eye yet. But it is time to actually set the under eye now. So I'm going to be going in with my favourite powder of all time. So this is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. And I'm in the shade Pound Cake. So something new for me is I actually now use a beauty blender, but it's one of those powder puff beauty blenders. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the Huda Beauty powder. But before I go in with that, I'm going to tap some off on the back of my wrist, just get all the excess off. as I've found if you go in with too much straight away, it literally does just, you know, crease, I've found. So that's how I now set the under eye. I'm just going to pick up the remainder of what was on my wrist and just smooth out this concealer. And then I'm just going to take the remainder of this powder and just powder along the forehead, especially around the top lip, as that is somewhere on me that always seems to crease. Around the nose. And can we just please appreciate how much that just mattified the under eye, smoothed it out. It literally looks flawless now. Okay, so another new product for me is the NARS Orgasm Blush. So this is a powder blusher, and I am so late to the party with this one because everyone probably knows about the NARS Orgasm Blush, but it is actually amazing. So I'm just going to go in with a Peaches and Creams brush and just look how pigmented that is. It's got like a gold tinge to it, so kind of got like, see, like that nice shine to it. And can we see how the concealer is just blended into the blush? Like it's all looking like nicely, there's no harsh lines on the face or anything. So that was the reason for that technique before. You can actually see it kind of like working now. Do you see that nice gold? It's so flattering. Like I probably wouldn't really need to use highlight with this, but it is me, so I will definitely be using highlight. So for contour today, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder, and this is in the shade 350 Caramel. I'm just picking that up on a MAC 168 brush, and I'm just going to be dusting around the forehead, a little bit just under the hollows of the cheeks. And then I'm now going to go on top of that with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, and this is in the shade Dark Deepest, so this will really darken this contour up now. And it's the same brush as well, I haven't swapped brushes or anything. So as you can see, that just literally does deepen up the contour. And this is nothing new, I've literally been doing this bronzing technique for a very long time with the same product, same brush. I feel like this won't change. This literally is my favourite bronzer and contour product of all time. A little bit of bronzer in the Cupid's bow. As you can see, that just really makes the lips look a bit more full. So something that is new for me is when I used to carve out underneath the contour, I would literally just get a beauty blender and go right the way across. So from here to the jawbone was literally covered in powder, whereas now I don't do that as it looks too unnatural. So I'm just going to go back in with our little beauty blender. And I literally just do a line like that, whereas the whole thing used to be covered in powder, but it did just look too dramatic. It really did, so that's why I've changed to this. So that'll just be a lot easier to dust away in a little bit. Okay, so this is something that hasn't changed. So I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in the shade Sugar. And my favourite brush for highlighting is the 120 highlight brush from Fenty. And all I'm doing is literally just taking a mixture of those shades, tapping off excess, just running that just literally on the tops of the cheekbones, as you can see. Just to give that nice glow. Tip of the nose, front of the brow like always. A little bit on the lips, Cupid's bow, chin, down the bridge of the nose as well. And just going back over the tops of the cheekbones. Gives such a nice glow. I absolutely love this product, and this brush is perfect for it because of the angle. Just literally fits the cheekbones perfectly. So that's something that hasn't changed. However, something that has changed in my highlighting game is I now go in with the Real Techniques pointed foundation brush, and I go in with another Fenty Beauty product. So I go in with the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb All Over Diamond Veil in the shade How Many Carats. So this is a gel-like consistency. It's more of a gel type of highlighter. So it kind of makes the skin look more wet and dewy. So just gives that sheen to the skin. So I'm going to spray my Real Techniques brush now with the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray. So I'll just do like 2 sprays of that. And then I'll literally make sure that the brush is like coated in the Fenty Beauty Diamond Veil. And I'll just literally place that on top of the areas, apart from the lips. Actually, I didn't mean to do that, apart from the lips, because I've noticed in the past when I do this Fenty Beauty How Many Carats on the lips, the lip liner won't actually stay on. It makes the lips sticky because it's a gel-like consistency. So that is the one place I don't actually put it on the lips. So yeah, don't do what I just done. But everywhere else on the face is fine. It literally gives that like glow, sort of like from within, if that makes sense. And you can just smudge it in with fingers if you feel like it looks a little bit intense. Okay, so for lips, nothing new here at all. I'm going to be going in with the Morphe Bite Me Lip Liner. And then I'm going to be topping that with the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick in the shade Celebrity Skin. These two, such a gorgeous combo. This has literally always been my favourite. So anyone who watches this channel, yeah, nothing has changed since. So I'm just going to go in and overdraw the middle section of the lips now. And then I'm just going to neaten up with the same concealer brush that I used to carve out the brows. As that will just give the lips a bit of a lift. By looking like the outer corners are like flipped up, that will give the lips a bit of a lifted shape. And just smudging that lip liner in. Going in with my Jeffree Star, which does not crack, by the way. It's such a good liquid lipstick formula. Lasts for such a long time. It's a gorgeous shade. Literally, for me, it's like my perfect nude. And it does not crack. So, what more could you ask for? So, I'm just going to dust away this powder now. And as you can see, it just gives a more sharp look. Okay, so another new technique that I now use is I now go in with a very like angled brush, a very sharp edged brush. This is only from Primark. It's literally £1, so I invested in 2 of them because they're so good. So I'm going just back in with the same bronzer now, the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark Deepest. And I'm just literally deepening up that contour. So if you compare that side to that side, obviously I'd say that side, in my opinion anyway, it looks much nicer. I mean, this is not a necessary step, but for me, I think it's definitely worth doing it. I think it really does make all the difference. Okay, a little bit of gloss, which is nothing new. So I'm just going to go in with the Collection Gloss Me Up Lip Gloss in shade Pink Fizz number 5. And then I still actually have a little bit of powder just on the under eyes, which I'm now going to just sweep off, but kind of press into place as well. Rather than just sweeping, I am kind of pressing the remainder into the under eye, so it will just remain flawless, which is obviously what we want. Okay, so next up, I'm just going to go in with mascara now. So this is actually a new product. So this is the Maybelline Sky High mascara, which I actually love the original, but this one is now in Cosmic Black, which is supposed to be more like dramatic or whatever. However, before I do that, I've actually forgot that I now curl my eyelashes before applying mascara or eyelashes, because it just literally makes such a difference. So yeah, I really do think it makes such a massive difference just using a lash curler. And they are only so cheap, like literally I think I bought mine for like £1, so definitely worth it. Okay, so this is literally the finished and completed look. So some new techniques that I've used, which I've talked through, some new products that I've now discovered, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. So yeah, this is my go-to if I was going on a night out. I'd obviously do eyeshadow, a lot more full glam eyes obviously, but the skin, this is literally how I would do it for a night out. It's literally perfect. It's glowy, it's smooth, it's flawless, it's full coverage. And yeah, by the way, I'm absolutely loving that mascara. I think it really, really makes a difference by using it alongside the eyelash curlers. It literally just looks like more curled and lifted, which obviously I know that everyone probably knows this already, but literally for 2 seconds doing a little, you know, a little press, it just makes all the difference because they actually do look lifted now, and I feel like fine going out like this, even without lashes on. But this is just a daytime look. Obviously for an evening I would have lashes. But yeah, I'm just rambling on now. So anyway, I hope that obviously you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment in the comment section on some of your favourite products and techniques. Do you have any techniques that you've recently discovered, or you know, is there anything in this video that you're now going to incorporate into your makeup routine or whatever? Let me know in the comment section. And apart from liking, commenting and subscribing, if you aren't already subscribed, then I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around to the very, very end. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in my next tutorial.